I saw a thing, actually, a study that said speaking in front of a crowd is considered the #1 fear of the average person. I found that amazing. Number 2 was death. Death is number 2? This means to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy. I've never had slippers in my entire life. I bought slippers. I got these slide-in ones. You know these? No backs. You move right into these. These have got to be like emergency slippers, I think. That's what they're for. You set them up by the side of the bed in case there's a fire in the middle of the night. Ho! You pick them right up. You get right out of that house. Talk show hosts never seem to have any idea how much time is left in the show. You know, they're always looking off camera. Do we have time? We out of time? How are we doing on time? Anybody know what the time is? What's the time? Time? Anybody checking the time? You never see Magnum P.I. go, should I strangle this guy? We're going to take a break here. Can you stay for another beating? I'll tell you what, I'll bop him in the head. We'll do a commercial. Come back. I'll drive in the car real fast. Stay with us.
What about flying? Do you have anything about that bother you?
No.
I used to hate it.
Yeah?
And then now I hate it a little less.
It's really just stupid to hate it. I mean, it's totally safe.
Oh, no, it's safe, but it's annoying.
Why? Because you can't get... It's like a hospital, isn't it, sometimes? You ever see people just sitting there, can I get some water? You know, and they got the blanket, and they go, I'll be okay, you know? The cosmetic surgery procedures that are available to people today, liposuction. You familiar with this? This is a fat-sucking machine. Now, you know, somewhere, somebody is working on a way that this thing could go into a restaurant. And you could just order it off the menu. I'll tell you what, give me the cheesecake, crank me up to 9, and put a scoop of ice cream on the side. I was at the Smithsonian Institute there. They have all the exhibits, you know. They have, like, the Apollo 11. They show you the spacesuit. They show you, like, the food that the astronauts ate. Not the actual food, of course. That would be disgusting. They had Neil Armstrong's toothbrush, the guy who landed on the moon. They had his toothbrush there in a glass case. Now, I wouldn't make that up. It's too stupid to make up. Underneath the toothbrush, it said, on loan from Neil Armstrong. A toothbrush on loan. Neil, give him the brush. He's making good money now, right? Successful guy. What is he, coming in late at night with the bathrobe, the Colgate? I left it in the case. Where is it? You know. I think your socks have a certain kind of courage. A certain kind of ambition, determination. How many times have you done a big laundry? Go to the dryer, take out your socks, count them up. One of them got out. He escaped, took off on his own. What are his chances out there? I don't think they're very good. A lot of times I walk down the street and I'll see a dirty sock just lying there in the street. What happened to him? It's a sock that didn't make it. But he took that risk. That's what I respect. Because socks, think about it, they hate their lives. They do. They're in the shoe. They're in the drawer. They hate it. He waits for the dryer. That's his chance, and he knows it. And he waits. He bides his time. And then you open the dryer door, and he waits by the side. He hopes that you don't see him, then he runs. Or sometimes he grabs onto a sweater. This gives him a little head start. That's how they get away. What is with the age gap hiring policy at most movie theaters? You ever notice they never hire anyone between the ages of 15 and 80? You know what I mean? It's like the girl that sells you the ticket, she's 10. Then there's the guy that ripped it, he's 102. But what happened in the middle there? Couldn't find anybody? It's like they want to show you how life comes full circle. You know, you're 15, you're selling the tickets, then you leave, you go out, you have a family, kids, marriage, career, grandchildren. 80 years later, you're back at the same theater, 3 feet away, ripping tickets. Took you 80 years to move 3 feet. Have you noticed that everything on planes is very tiny? There's always tiny food, tiny liquor bottles, tiny pillows, tiny bathroom, tiny sink, tiny soap. Everyone's in a cramped seat working on a tiny computer. There's always a small problem, be a slight delay, will be a bit late if you could be a little patient. We're just trying to get one of those little trucks to pull us up a little closer to the jetway so you can walk down the narrow hallway. There'll be a man there in a tight suit, and he'll tell you you have very little time to make your connecting flight. So move it. We can't seem to find the terrorists, and yet we have a tremendous amount of film of the terrorists training in their little camps, don't we? Maybe we need to follow the guy who's dropping off these cans of film. He seems to know something. And why are the terrorists always working out on the monkey bars? Can anybody figure that out? Why have they settled on this particular piece of fitness equipment? There's nothing else they're interested in but monkey bar fitness. Has there ever been a war where the decisive battle was fought on a children's playground? I need a volunteer to advance on the plastic horse with a giant spring underneath it. You'll be getting air support from the swings. I think we ought to focus on the seesaw on our side. We got so many fat kids in this country who could sit down on one end of a seesaw, hold those skinny terrorists up in the air on the other end. That's some terrorism when you don't know whether the fat kid's going to jump off the bottom of the seesaw. That used to scare the hell out of me. Come on, don't do it! Don't jump off! They make glue out of horses. I don't know who started that. Who saw that potential? That's pretty amazing to me. What, are you working in a stationery store? A horse walks by? Hey, wait a minute. I think he could be glue. How do we pick out the really sticky ones? You leave that to me. What about that one over there? He's weaving around. He looks like he's out of his mind. He'll be crazy glue. I actually, in fact, recently bought the Ginsu knife.
You finally?
I did. I wish that I was saying that just to set up as a joke, but I actually bought the Ginsu knife. I was watching TV late at night. How long has this commercial been on? It's got to be 20 years, right?
Something like that.
Got to be 20 years. I'm sitting there, and it's late, you know, you're getting drowsy, and he's cutting through the shoe with the thing, you know,
and
cutting through the can. I'm going, you know, that looks pretty good. Cut through the shoe, cut through the can. I need that knife, you know. So I call up the lady, you know, and they dial the number there. I said, I'd like to order the Ginsu knife. And the lady on the other end of the phone, she says, really? I said, yes. And they sent me the knife. They apparently the Ginsu people themselves can't believe anyone would even, they got 3 left, and they just keep running the thing, trying to get rid of the last 3 of them. And I got the thing, and it's great, but you start thinking, if you need a knife that can cut through a shoe, maybe you're not buying the highest grade of meat currently available, you know?
You gotta move into prime.
Yeah, maybe to pass on the hoof cut once in a while, you know, get something a little better.
Did you ever, have you seen the Flowbee advertised at all?
The the vacuum cleaner that cuts your hair.
Yeah. Almost got me one night. Almost got me.
Because you're getting to that
putting a vacuum
stage.
cleaner and he's cutting his wife's hair. He said, my wife loves this. This woman is sitting there with this terror-stricken look on her face. And he's sucking her hair up into some kind of hedge clippers with a vacuum cleaner.
It's so strange. The first time you see one of these 30-minute commercials, the very first time you see, you don't know it's 30 minutes long. You think, well, here's some dumb commercial. This will be over in a second. And then 28 minutes later, you go, have I lost my mind here? Or are they still drying the fruit in that stupid little box? So anyway, I'm thrilled to be back here in New York. I love how certain things about New York never change. They're always constant. They're always there for you. The cabbies and the B.O. What is with the B.O. and these guys? How long are these shifts? Can't we get this man a 10-minute break for a shower? You're in the back. It's coming through the glass. You're just going, what in the world? And then I love when they put that cherry poppet stuff on the dashboard. So you get the cherry B.O. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Even fruit showers more often than this. The funny thing to me about being in these cabs is that when you're in Manhattan, for some reason, you don't get scared no matter how fast the guy goes. Well, you know, he's driving fast and recklessly, but well, he's a professional. He's got a cab driver's license. I can see it right there. I don't even know what it takes to get a cab driver's license. I think all you need is a face. This seems to be their big qualification. No blank heads are allowed driving cabs in this town. Also helps to have a name with like 8 consonants in a row. You ever see some of the letters in these names? What is the O with the line through it, by the way? What planet is that from? You need a chart of the elements if you want to report the guy. Yes, officer, his name was Amal, and then the symbol for boron. No, it was not manganese. I had the periodic chart with me at the time. My parents just moved to Florida. Last year, they didn't want to move to Florida, but they're in their 60s, and that's the law. They've got those leisure police. Come on, Pop, get the golf clubs, get in the back. Drop the snow shovel right there. Talk about, you know, the other end of the spectrum in driving. Florida, you know, the old people, they drive very slow. They sit very low. This is their motto. It should be the state flag. Drive slow, sit low. Just a picture of a steering wheel with a hat and 2 knuckles on it. Of course, that left turn signal on from when he left the house that morning. It's a legal turn in Florida. It's known as an eventual left. Sorry, officer, but I signaled for that in 1979.